So, what no one tells you about living forever, or at least what we think about when we think about living forever, which is probably over 100 years old or comfortably over 100 years old, is that it comes down to way more than just exercise and eating healthy. And in my opinion, one of the biggest things that gets left out of this is the talked about aspect of doing stuff that stimulates your mind. And when people look at becoming the healthiest they can be, they usually look at I need to eat right and I need to exercise. And those things are great. But what also needs to happen on top of that is we need to stimulate our mind with anything new, anything somewhat challenging, anything somewhat different. Because if your mind goes stagnant, you are essentially telling your brain and body there's no reason for me to stay alive because there's nothing for me to adapt to. And if you are not adapting or getting stronger, bigger, smarter, some type of neural connection is going on, your neural connections, your neurons will literally die because there's nothing for them to do. Okay? So this is the big problem, though, is that a lot of people think when I say stimulate your mind, this means, oh, go back to college or, oh, read a book and, learn, a new class, take an online college class, even if whatever. They think about it from a very narrow view. And these are all great ways to stimulate your mind, but there are so many other things that you can do to challenge your brain and body every single day. A prime example is chopsticks. So right now I'm eating some fruit, and for literally the last 2 years, I've been eating my fruit with my chopsticks with my left hand. Naturally, I learned how to use chopsticks with my right hand. And one of the things I wanted to do was just say, hey, I'm going to learn how to use chopsticks with my left hand. Whoop, lost some yogurt there. Uh-oh. So long story short, though, this gave me a little bit of challenge in my day. It took me a little bit longer to eat initially. Now I actually think I can eat quicker with my left hand than my right hand. When right now, another thing I'm actually kind of navigating through is learning a lot about meditation practices. So I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos and just learning a little bit more about spirituality, just as kind of like a side thing. I've been learning a lot about interpersonal communication. I've been actually this last 2 years, I learned all about YouTube, the back end stuff, optimizing videos. That was all done through YouTube videos. Right now, I'm actually kind of challenging myself by putting myself out there on the internet more and reaching out to more companies to potentially partner with. So that's the way I'm kind of challenging my brain to get over that fear and aspect of it. What are some other things? Obviously, physically, I'm trying different workouts, I'm trying different loads, I'm trying to get in different positions to challenge my body a little bit differently. And these are a few aspects of just changes in your life. Maybe if you're somebody who has a kid, you might want to try to get them to do a sport. So kind of navigating the mental gymnastics of what's the best way I can persuade them to get them to do a sport. Probably finding something they like, kind of telling them the benefits of it, telling them maybe they'll make some friends, and maybe even giving them a small incentive like, hey, if you do this sport, you won't have to do chores this week or something. Because, when you do a sport, it's kind of like a full-time job when those kids have school on top of that. Total side note tangent, but if you really want to live to be over 100, you're going to need to be doing things that challenge your mind. And one of the other things, too, I want to say, too, is a case study. Actually, I have a friend who I think she's mid 70s now, and she's so energetic. She helps me coach in Special Olympics, and I asked her, I'm like, how old do you feel? And she literally said to me, and I could tell and literally feel it by how she told me, she's like, in my 20s. That is literally the key to long-term life and success. She is highly active physically. She does workouts every day, to my knowledge. She's told me that at least, unless she's lied to me, but I don't think she has. She travels a lot. She hangs out with friends a lot. She changes her environment a lot. She's heavily involved in volunteering, and she literally looks like somebody who could live forever. So just another perspective to give you some guidance on living forever, if you so choose to.